this is Noreen from Joya Cards, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Yay! For more of my Stampin' Up! Card videos, please click that subscribe button and the little bell, and you'll be notified when my videos release. So anyway, now let's go make a card. Hello! Today we're doing part 2 of my Stampin' Up! Evergreen Elegance gift card box. So we took, on the first video, a box like this and we colored it and we put in the cushion, we did the insides, and this video we're going to turn it into that. So let's go ahead, and we're going to be using the Evergreen Elegance and the border punch, and I'm going to supplement with some rectangle stitched frames and also the basic border punch, and we're using the clouds. So let's get started. The paper we're going to be using is Evening Evergreen, Basic Black, and Shimmery White. Everything when you're sponging something looks better on Shimmery White. We're also going to use some long pieces of the Evening Evergreen for the punch, and also some Shimmery White for the tag here. And let me go ahead and open this box. So this is the before. I don't know if you can tell from the video, but it's shimmery. Now, if you want to learn how to make this colored box, because this is the paper pumpkin mini boxes that are in the main annual catalog, and these are great for like gift cards, or you could put jewelry or any kind of like gift. It doesn't have to be for Christmas, and you can, you know, basically color it anything you want. You could put it in with the shimmer, or you can just leave it flat. But that is my video that I did right before this, because this is part 2. And it aired November 7th, 2021. So if you want to know how to color this box perfectly like that, then go back to the first video and you can be shown how to do that. Now, we're going to have an Evening Evergreen, and this is going to be cut 5.5 by 3 5/8. Now, don't have to scramble to write these down. Just go to the details of my video and click on the show more, and I'll give you all the measurements and all the Stampin' Up! Supplies that I use, so you don't have to be frantic, and you can refer back to that. And then we're going to use Basic Black, and this is going to be 5 1/4 by 3 7/16, and the Shimmery White is going to be 5 1/8 by 3 5/16. So let's start going. So we're going to start with the inside first because it's the easiest. And I've got my Evening Evergreen here, and we're going to be using this sentiment here and this punch right here. And I know they're on the orange stamps, and you don't have to use the Stampin' Pad, but some stamps do better with the Stampin' Pad, and this test, in my opinion, is one of them. So let's go ahead and do the greenish, the tree stuff first. And I've just got the Evening Evergreen, and I'm just going to put it on the bottom like this. Now on your box, if you're customizing it for someone, you can choose to leave more blank space if you want to write a sentiment here, or you can put up, you can just put a tag on the box. I did a whole video on tags using tailor-made tags and time of giving, and that one was done on November 4th, 2021. So, and then let's do the sentiment, and I'm using Cherry Cobbler. I like Cherry Cobbler a little better against this green because it's a little more of a deep red, and I'm just going to put it right there. I'm just going to take my Basic Black and put it on the Evening Evergreen like that, right in the middle, and snail the back of your Shimmery White and just put it in the middle again. And then of course go ahead and snail it and put it right in, and I'm going to put my head in the camera, I'm sorry, just put it right in the middle of the box like so. Now take your Evening Evergreen and Basic Black, the other set, and you can just put this on top of each other and get ready for the front. Now we're going to make this scene here, and the first thing we're going to do is make these clouds. So this is the border from Basic Borders that will make the cloud. So go ahead and take a piece of copy paper at about 5 3/4 length, so try to get as much length as you can of the entire die, and just cut it out. And then once you have that, you're going to grab some balmy blue and your blending brush here, and we're going to make the scene. Now you can go from the top, the bottom, top, it doesn't matter. But I will tell you this, you might want to try angles instead of doing it straight across. I think it just looks a little more realistic when you're at an angle. So take your blending brush and you hold it like this, and you tap into your balmy blue. Tap off on the paper so you don't like put a big old splotch on your paper. I hate when that happens. And go ahead and lightly go over your little stencil you made. And you're not gonna, well, we're doing the top, so you can like grab the top of the paper a little bit, but look what happens. That's great. And then you're gonna take this one and you're gonna put it up going the other direction and do the same thing. Just like so. And then turn it over because you don't want the same kind of pattern going across, and you can put one right here. Tap, tap, tap. My dog is barking. That's my dog, Buddy. He is an Australian cattle dog lab mix, and he's precious. I love him. He's a very aggressive lover, so he doesn't mean to. Anyway, so I'm just going to do this all the way down, and I'm not going to worry about, I'm going to turn it over again. I'm not going to worry about masking because the trees are so dark and this balmy blue is so light, so there's really not a reason for it. But I'm going to take it down a little further. And I think maybe one more. And just, because this is going to be covered up. I might even go all the way across. Won't even see this. All right, and that's how we do the clouds. Now we're going to go ahead and make the trees, and we're going to be using the tall tree here and the medium one right here. We might use the ground if I accidentally leave a little white spot, but maybe not. So the first thing you want to do, I did use my Stampin' pad again because I think it just stamps a little better on the pad. And then I've got my Evening Evergreen out, and I was going to do Evening Evergreen and Soft Succulent, but when you stamp this off, it looks like Soft Succulent, so you don't need it. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put my first tree right here. And if you notice, I'm using a scratch piece of paper because the first tree I stamped off the edge. And then I'm going to take that same stamp without re-inking it and stamp it again, and that's basically the color of Soft Succulent, so I left it. Now I'm going to switch to that medium tree, and I'm going to put that right kind of over the one we just did. And you can arrange these however you want. I just kind of did my own thing here, and I think I'm going to put in another one. Just because, I don't know. No, I'm going to switch. Go back to this one. So, like I said, it's all whatever you want. I'm just going to, don't like making a actual pattern. Maybe I will go back to the other one. See, I changed my mind. And I'm going to make this one here and maybe here just to kind of do a different one. And then I'm going to do this one like here and stamp off here, and then go another one here, and then do another one here. So that is my trees, and I don't think I need to fill anything on the ground, but if you do, go ahead and just take the stamp and just stamp it on the ground like that, and it'll be fine. So that's how you do the trees. Now for a scary part, we're going to put in the snowflakes here. Now you could choose to just leave them off, of course, but I chose to put snowflakes in. So first of all, you're going to put your anti-static on your paper, and then you're going to get some Versamark. Now I did some in the trees, and I don't think it shows up very well, so I might not do it in the trees. I'm going to put my Versamark on my Stampin' pad as well. I think it just makes a better connection. Now when you're doing this, you got to kind of keep track of where you put those snowflakes because they disappear with this Versamark, and you don't want to have them going over each other. So I'm going to put one here, and then I'll put one maybe here. And I'm just kind of leaving my finger where I did the last set, and just kind of keep going. I'm going to stamp one off. Oh, I don't have my scratch paper. And then we're going to go ahead and put silver embossing powder on it. And let's just put that over. I didn't put any in the trees. Way too much powder. flick it off, and then we got our little snowflakes. If you didn't like how one of the snowflakes turned out, you could just wipe that off and it'll be fine. So they're my snowflakes, and then I'm going to heat it up. So I've got my heat gun going and I let it warm up. You don't want to just do it right away. So I think it's warmed up, and I'm going to get rid of one of these little stars I don't like. And then I'm going to go ahead and get them going. And you can tell when it turns. There's definitely a color difference. So there we go. You can take a look at it, make sure you got everything. And that's the snowflakes. Now we're gonna make the tag. Now stick around, because I'm gonna show you how to make the trees too. We're not done. So the Merry Christmas is also from the set, and it's right here. And we're gonna take that cherry cobbler again. And this is just a piece of scratch Shimmery White. And Shimmery White and Basic White are a different color. So if you use this in Shimmery, you got to use this in Shimmery, and vice versa. So I'm just going to ink that up, and I'm going to stick my head in the camera and put it right here. So here's a trick. I didn't have a rectangle stitched frame, and that's what I'm using, that is the right size. So I made one, and I'm sure you've seen this before, but here's my lovely die cutting plate. Woohoo! And Stampin' Up does have die cutting plates. Look in the annual catalog, and they're in there. And I have a Sizzix Big Shot, so totally works good, and they're readily available. And I want to say they're cheaper than like a Michael's or a Hobby Lobby and stuff like that. So especially if you're a demonstrator. I know I have lots of demonstrators, so you know, that's fine. And welcome. I love my demonstrator subscribers. And I'm just going to line this up here, and I'm going to tape it. So I'm going to give it the amount of room to make it look nice. So I put it right there, and I'm going to go ahead and die cut this, and I'll be right back. So I'm going to take this off, and this tape, this is if you've seen my videos before, this is the delicate frog tape that I absolutely love. So that's what I use, because it's everywhere and you get a lot, and I would imagine it's cheaper. Anyway, so now we've got this part, and we're going to make it smaller by just taking that same rectangle stitched frame, and you kind of have to feel for it popping into the groove, into that stitch. Once you feel it pop into the stitch where you want it, then go ahead and put it back on the plate and tape that puppy down good, because you don't want that to wiggle and mess up your die cut. So now I'm going to go back to the die cutter, and let's see, did I do it? Let's see. I totally did it. So that's how you make the sentiment smaller. So let's start putting together the box. Now don't forget, I'm going to do the sides here, so don't go away. So I've gone ahead and snailed the back of the piece we put together earlier, and I'm just going to put that on the box like so. And then the piece we just did now, and put it on the box like so. I'm just going to take that sentiment. I put a bunch of dimensionals on the back, and I'm just going to place her right there. And I did take one of those red rhinestone basic jewels, and I'm going to put it on top of one of these trees, just like that. I just thought it was cute. And now let's do the side of the box. So to do the trees on the side, I use the Evergreen border punch, and all you have to do is put your paper in, and I lined it up all the way. There's kind of a spot where you can see the paper just about ready to appear, and then just punch it, and then you line that first tree up with this first tree here. So I'm going to do that, and then punch it again, and this is what you get. Now for the sides, you're going to make 2 punches, and for the front, you're going to do 3. So I'm going to do 3 here, and 1, and line that up, 2, and you got to find the tree that lines up, and 3. And then I just need to make one more of this one. So I'm just going to go ahead and use the same paper. Just turn it over and do 2 punches there. So that's 1. Line it up. And 2. And then with the trees, I'm going to take the longer strip for the tree and cut this off the main paper like that. And then I'm going to measure it up against the box and see where I want to cut off. I'm only going to cut off 1 tree, and I'm going to cut off this one. But before I do that, I know that these trees are just a little taller than the box. So I'm going to take my cutter. I've got my Stampin' Up! Cutter here, and I'm going to take off the teeniest, tiniest little bit of the bottom. I think I'm right over the brown edge here. You got it lined up, hold it down real good, and go straight. And it's still all connected, we're all good. And then just do the same thing for these 2. I'm gonna just cut them off from the paper, and I'm gonna cut off that tiny, tiny, tiny little edge. So I'm gonna do that again so you can see it again. Don't do too much. I'm literally right over that brown part of it here, and I'm gonna lie this down gently and straight across. There we go. And I'll do it to the last one, and I'll be back. Now we cut 1 tree off the long strip. Now let's measure the short strips. And I believe you cut 1 tree off as well. So decide which tree is gonna go and just lop that off like that. Now all I'm gonna do is snail them up and put them on the box. You can see why I did this video in 2 parts. The box is definitely something, if you're interested in coloring your box, I've got some tricks and tips in that video to help you do that. So that's awfully fun. Now I'm putting it right against the bottom here. Oh, and it looks like we have to lop off 1 more tree. Oopsie. There you go. Bonk, you're gone. All right, and then we'll do the other 2 sides. And so that video came up on November 7th, 2021, if you want to refer back to how to color these boxes, because that's really kind of cool. And let's get these on the side here, like so. And you can use this for like jewelry or anything small, gift cards, obviously. And they're super cute to make. And that's the box. So that will do it for me. Thank you so much, and please like and subscribe. I would appreciate it. Thanks. Bye.